my mom said I had to choose the safest sport, so I picked running around the world. I don't know if that's quite what she meant. So I'm running the world for children. Here's a short video to introduce you to my story.
I'm Nikolas, and I'm 10 years old, and I'm trying to run a marathon on each of the 7 continents, raising money for Operation Warm.
As a younger child, Nikolas was always running. He seemed to have a hard time walking anywhere.
I've always loved running, but the one thing I love most about running is running with my dad.
When Nikolas runs, he runs like a kid, and I think that's what I started getting out of it. I started running like a kid again, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, you know, maybe if you have fun, then you've got everything that you need to get out of it.
My first marathon, my dad and I, every mile, we did a leap. So at every mile, I took a jump, and my dad took a picture of me jumping. So yeah, I just take it 1 mile at a time.
With us running together, I guess it was one of those things where, as a parent or a coach, I mean, you're trying to tell your kid, you know, pace yourself, slow down, and we'd always get to the end of these races, and he would always have so much energy left. And, you know, it finally dawned on me, maybe I should just keep quiet and let him run his own race. Last year, we did our first half marathon. As we're driving home, you know, he says, wow, wouldn't it be great if I could actually, you know, now that I've done a half marathon, I can run a marathon. And it kind of evolved into, wow, maybe I could actually do one on all 7 continents.
I think an amazing part to me is that he took something that he loved so much and he turned it into helping other people. When he did the first marathon and there was a little bit of media attention around that, he started to realize like the vastness, I guess the potential of what this meant. And Nikolas said, Mom, I'm just realizing, you know, you don't need to be big to make a difference.
It takes about 1 million feet to run 7 marathons, so I would like to raise $1 million in 1 million feet.
It's one of those things where it doesn't matter whether he comes in, you know, first place in a race or third place in a race, or if we run in Antarctica or if we run in Delaware, that hopefully is about building character. I don't know, maybe he's going to be an FBI agent, or maybe he's going to be a baseball player, but hopefully the character is what will stay with him.
I just say, follow your heart. Whatever you want to do, just don't be afraid. Just go out there and do it. You know, you don't have to be big to make a difference. Follow your heart, go out there and do it.
When I was 5 years old, I did my first 5 carries, but mostly on my dad's shoulders. And when I was 6 years old, I did my first solo race. My dad's the best coach I could ever have and my biggest inspiration. So I just kept running longer and longer distances when I came up with the idea to do what I love and help people at the same time. And I figured out there's about 1 million steps in 7 marathons. So I'd like to raise $1 million in 1 million steps. Could you imagine being out in this weather without a coat to warm you? Me neither. I'm Nikolas, and I'm running the world for children, raising money for Operation Warm. Operation Warm is an organization that provides new coats to kids that can't afford them. So my grandfather started Operation Warm, so I've always been involved in it, whether it's reaching into my piggy bank to donate money to helping out at coat distributions. Here are some kids that got coats for Operation Warm. This is my sister and I at a coat distribution. This is another time I helped out. To these kids, it's more than a coat. Sometimes it's the first new thing they've ever received in their whole entire life. North America, my first marathon. My dad always loved that it was my first marathon, fortitude for first descents, on the first December 1st, with the first big number, in the first town, in the first state. This is while I was running a marathon. This is Alicia. She was the race director. She donated money to every toppers award for every place winner in the marathon. She also put my logo on the back of the race shirt. She made it really special for me. Antarctica, running with the penguins. The penguins were all over the course, and they were really cool. Someone also gave me a penguin outfit to wear. The conditions were rough, but just thinking about all the kids without coats kept me going. This is right after I finished the marathon. Australia, another amazing race. Here, I'm running with my friend Zoe. She was really nice. She said that now she wants to run to help kids too. This is when I finished the marathon. Here, I'm holding Nutsy. She's a koala. She was really soft, and it was amazing being able to hold her. This is right after I got spit on by a camel. Trust me, it's not a nice experience. South America, it's like a long stroll on the beach. In fact, I was the only one that ran on the beach. Everyone else ran on a path along the sand. I fell off a cliff while I was there. Just kidding, I staged this picture. I told my mom that I really didn't fall off a cliff, and my dad and I just pretended I did, but she freaked out anyway. Here, I'm with my dad right after the marathon. People doing what they love for good. I think it's amazing that I'm able to do what I love and help people at the same time. And here are some people that use their talents to help people too. This is ultramarathon man Dean Carnassus. I've been lucky enough to run with him a few times, and he helps kids through his foundation. He calls me his hero. And next to my dad, he is also my hero. This is Olympian Julius Akon. He helps kids in Uganda. I also participate in USA track and field. And while I was at an event in St. Louis, I met Olympic champion Jackie Joyner. I've got to visit her foundation and learn more about it. She helps kids all across the US. It was really cool being able to meet her. The next two guys aren't famous like the others, but they are to me. This is Eddie. He runs barefoot around the world to help kids in the Philippines. He had a tough time in Antarctica, and after a while, he had to put on his shoes. After I finished, I ran out onto the course in my penguin suit to finish the marathon with him. I was so happy for him, and I really think he's really amazing. This is Ziad. He's amazing too. He's a world record setter for Pakistan, running to help kids in poverty. You don't have to be big to make a difference. I learned there are no barriers or boundaries when it comes to helping others. This is Kristen. She is 15 years old and is from Dubai. She just finished running the Sun Continents, raising money for kids in Nepal. She's another friend I've made who I know I'll keep in touch with for a long time. Acts of kindness. I've met many strangers who have reached into their pockets, like this lady. After she heard about what I was doing, she donated, just like that. How cool is that? A lady in this picture heard one of my interviews on the radio and contacted me saying she ran a youth ensemble that had a benefit concert every year and would like Operation Warm to be the recipient because she heard about what I was doing. Here are some strangers cheering me on during my first marathon. This is my mom and my sister. They are my biggest cheerleaders. Spreading awareness. I've been recognized for what I'm doing in various ways, hoping that it will spread awareness for Operation Warm. I've recently received the Prudential Spirit of Community Award, a national award that recognizes me for my volunteer work. This is me at a Coke distribution when I was little. Here, I'm raising money for Hurricane Sandy victims. This is when I was presenting a check to my grandfather. This is when I launched my website. Here my sister and I just launched my website. She's a big part of my campaign and has written and published 3 books. So she writes on my website and my blog. This is also my sister and I at a fundraising table at a race. Another way to raise money. Here's a video to tell you more about what I'm doing.
This is a picture of a 9-year-old who's already run 1 marathon. And he's preparing for 6 more, 1 on each continent. And I'm proud of myself that I went running 3 times last month. Hey guys, I'm Patrick Jones for Buzz60. Nikolas is from Pennsylvania and ran his first marathon in Delaware.
What are you looking forward to?
The whole marathon. Running.
Let's hope so. Next up is actually a marathon in Antarctica. Well, you run 1 and you're ready for 26.2 on a glacier with penguin distractions. Nick is doing the 7 marathons for a children's charity. He's hoping to raise $1 million, $1 for each step it takes to complete 7 marathons. You can donate to his cause at his website, nikrunstheworld.com. Just be ready for the sudden jolt to your exercise routine after running out of excuses, knowing that a 9-year-old has no excuses for 7 marathons. Buzz60, now you know, pass it on.
I've run in beautiful places, met amazing people, and experienced wonderful things. But the worst part about what I'm doing is that this keeps happening. Thank you.
The future of Rotary, give them a good round of applause. Thank you, Nikolas.